Axel's Garage. In this video, we're going to do some easy maintenance on our 03 Suburban. Now, these vehicles, pretty much 2000 to 2006, the body style is the same, but you can go back into the mid to late 90s, and you can go up a little bit when we're talking about this particular maintenance. It's the front differential fluid. A lot of people never change it. These front diff units are electronic, meaning that there's some wires that go to them to control the hubs, and for the four-wheel drive, it's a mess. It's not like a regular center section, you know, in the old school straight axle four-wheel drive vehicles. And there's a ton of these on the road, and they get a ton of mileage on them. Like this one's got 150 on it. Our 03 Yukon XL's got 181,000 on it. So, you know, maintenance is key when you're putting a ton of miles, and most of these Suburbans, Tahoes, and Yukons, they get a ton of miles on them because they're family cars. They're used to take the kids everywhere, to go on trips. You load them up, you haul, you tow. It's just, they're great utility vehicles. Problem is, some of these little maintenance things people forget about. Now, the front diff fluid, I have no idea what the recommended time is. You really should, in my opinion, you hit it at the first 100,000, then you hit it 50 thereafter. So we're at 150. We're going to do this fluid. It's probably soupy, muddy, looking like chocolate milk. It's not tough to do. This one happens to have the, I don't know, some kind of four-wheel drive package in it, which adds skid plates to the bottom, factory skid plates, so we do have to remove a skid plate. But on a lot of them, and the majority of them out there, you don't even have to remove anything. You jack it up, and the front diff is right there. There's a drain plug and a fill plug. You pull the drain plug, drain the fluid out, and then you fill it back up again. We're going to get this one up in the air, set the camera up, and we'll show you how easy it is. Simple maintenance, because if that front diff goes, it's big bucks and a lot of labor to replace. Okay, so up under the car, all the way forward, you'll see right here is a plastic, really a shroud that protects the lower portion of the belts and the AC compressor. But this metal skid plate is what we're going to have to remove in this car, and it's 4 or 5 bolts there. You got a 15mm head on them, and you could see the axles go into the center section or the differential, right, which is above that skid plate. So it's a lot easier if you do have the skid plate to remove the skid plate. We're going to buzz that off with an impact, but you really don't need any special tools to get that off. Okay, so with the skid plate removed, you can see your front diff, right? Right here is going to be your fill, and right down here is going to be your drain. So we'll put our oil drain pan underneath the diff. We'll take this out here. That looks like it's about a, I don't know, maybe a 12mm, and we'll let the fluid drain out. Let it drain out for a little while. It is thick gear oil, so let it sit for 10 to 15 minutes and clean something up around the garage. Alright, so with our drain pan underneath, not a 12, 13 it is. So it's a 13, which is a ½ inch. Oh, and it's not in there as tight as I thought it would be. I thought it would be really tight. Alright, and just like dumping your oil, get your pan under. Bolt's got a little nylon gasket on it. Make sure you don't lose that gasket, or replace the gasket if you do lose it. And there's that muddy mess. And it's a magnetic plug, and there's usually a bead on the plug, growing on the plug. And then you just let it drain for a good while. Alright, now what I like to do, which isn't completely necessary, is once you got your fill cap removed, is to pump a little clean gear oil up into it and let it drain out just a little bit, a couple pumps, just so that you can get any of the scourge that's sitting on the bottom of the diff washed out as well. As the front diff wears, you will get, you know, some metal shavings. That's why there's a magnetic drain plug. Let me show you the magnetic drain plug right there. So I like to just get anything off. It's real windy, so I'm making a mess because the gear oil dripping out, spraying all over the place. But I gave it a couple pumps. This is my setup here. Alright, it's a gallon container of gear oil. I usually buy it by the quart and just dump it into the gallon with a little plunger top, and the hose goes right up into the opening there. Okay, so with my drain plug back in, we'll take our 13 millimeter, give it a little tighten. It's got a nylon gasket on it, so it doesn't need to be too over tightened. Just a little snug. Alright, and now we're going to fill up. So we got our pump here, and this is the pain in the ass. You're just going to keep pumping and pumping and pumping until the fluid starts to come back out the fill hole. When it gets to the bottom of that fill hole, you know you're full. So you just pump away until you start to spill it out, then you're good. Put your plug back in, snug it up. Alright, so when you're done, tighten up that 15 millimeter headed drain plug. Get your skid plate. So pop it in. Alright, as always, I put a little white grease on these bolts just to make it a little easier for the next guy. Why is that? Because the next guy might just be me. Alright, so once you get that skid plate back up, you're all done. Clean your tools up, go for a ride if you want. If you don't want, go in the house, crack a beer, do something else. Anyway, what we did use was 80W90 gear oil, just a standard gear oil, nothing fancy. And what we have on the top, just to show you, because I know the last time we did a video about something like this, people asked, it's just a pump that screws into the gear oil container. And you just gotta, when you save it, what I usually do is I do one of these. How did I have it before? So that it's sort of standing up. It doesn't really drain well back into the thing, and then I usually just put a little plastic bag over it like that for storage. They sell them in all the big box part stores, right where you see the gear oil. They usually sell little pumps and stuff. I think you can put a pump on one of those regular tall cans of gear oil, but this is just much easier because you got a nice stable bottom. So I bought the gallon container, and then when the quarts of gear oil are on sale, I buy them and I dump them in here. Just makes it a lot easier. That's it. Easy maintenance today at Axel's Garage. If you liked the video, please give us a thumbs up. Nice and easy, step by step. And if you like what we're doing here at Axel's Garage, don't forget to subscribe, because as we approach 1,000 subscribers, once we hit that 1,000 mark, we got a great new announcement, especially something good for all the foodies out there. So help us get to 1,000 by subscribing. And as always, thanks for watching.